In 2011, Zeitz laid the foundation stone for his company, Karatbars International. The goal was for every human being to be able to own gold. What was once a one-man show is now a worldwide empire of companies that generates an annual turnover of more than 100 million euros. But Harald Zeitz has even bigger goals. A gold-based means of payment, which is crisis-proof and will revolutionize our financial system. His mission was initially just laughed at. Today, he is the market leader for innovative gold products and blockchain solutions.
Looking for freedom from the system.
Rabat Moisar, Assalamu alaikum, Namaste, Shalom, Hotep, and peace and blessings to everyone around the world. My name is Kansu Hotep Atum, and this is the unofficial pre-power call warm-up show. And I got a very special guest with me today, so I'm going to bring him on in a second. One thing, I think that a lot of my viewers right now, or our viewers, are on Facebook, and right now we're on YouTube. So I'm going to try to get that link over to y'all immediately, and we'll see if everybody can get plugged in with us. I hope so. So just good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my YouTube viewers, and same thing to all of my Facebook viewers, all my family. I'm gonna get the we're gonna get the video URL over to Facebook right now so everybody can join us. So just give us a second. We want to get everybody in here today, and make sure everybody can get on with us. So Facebook family, come on over. Okay. So we're just going to assume I had shared the link on my timeline, brother, if you want to share it. And it didn't really show the preview, unfortunately, but I did share it. We'll try it again. Yeah, here we go. All right, this time it should work. So give me a second. Be patient with me, everybody. We're just trying to get the rest of our family in here, because we usually are on Facebook with it, but they're acting up. So we're definitely over here on YouTube today, and maybe that'll be the norm moving forward. We need a system that works, and so far YouTube hasn't let me down. So thank you, YouTube. Shout out to Google. And all right. So with that being said, this brother that I'm going to bring in today is, like I said, a very special guest. Man, he's it would take a lot to really truly edify him, and but I'm going to let him tell you more about his life. So the brother's name is Kwame Binta, and he's a personal trainer. He's also a diamond director here in Karatbars, which Wealth Builders Worldwide, which, in case you don't know, means that this brother has his VIP package. It means he's sponsored over 100 people, personally sponsored over 100 people, and it means he's also on autosave, so he's saving gold for himself, and basically putting himself in position so that his future and future generations will be all right as well. So that's basically what we do here in Karatbars, is we put ourselves in position, and that's what this brother has done. So one thing I also wanted to it wouldn't be right to miss this part of the edification, but he's also a founding member of the United Division 4, 5, and 6 of Richmond, Virginia, which is a branch of the organization that was founded by Marcus Garvey. So yeah, I definitely didn't want to miss that piece of the edification. I think that's very important. So brother, come on in and talk to us. How you doing this morning? I think you may be muted still.
Greetings, brother. Brother Kansu. I'm doing pretty good. Matter of fact, I'm doing better than great. Little bit kind of disappointed because right now we should all be in Atlanta right now at
Right.
Disco Weekend 10.
Right.
But we got technology. So we're going to all come together today at 12 noon to celebrate and share the dream with the world that we have. I appreciate the introduction and the invite to be on your radio show. I've been following you for quite a while, and you do you do a class one production, and the information that you've been sharing is life changing for a whole lot of people who take the time to listen. And a little bit about myself. I'm live here in Richmond, Virginia. I've been in Carisbars for over 2 years now, and believe me, this was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Uh, as far as my finances goes, because in the last 2 years I've been able to accumulate more wealth than I have my first 40 years working on the plant
Ooh.
on the job. Uh,
Oh man.
so
In 2 years, huh?
it's truly a blessing.
Wow.
Yeah. And the thing about it, I'm accumulating real money. You know, I have been saving silver, for many years because I couldn't afford gold. So when Karatbars came along, it was just a no-brainer for me because now I can acquire gold, that number one asset in small increments, and also help other people do the same thing. So it was like a blessing, man. Nobody invited me to Karatbars. It just appeared on my Facebook page one day, and my sponsor, Esther, uh, she, we weren't even Facebook friends, and that's the crazy thing about it. And we kind of like two different personalities and belief systems, but that really didn't matter because hey, that was the first time I saw it. I took a look at the videos, contacted her, asked her a few questions, and I was in. It just made sense. I could open up a free gold savings account and start protecting my cash from inflation and any future financial crisis that was going to happen again that is happening right now. So I'm feel really good about where I'm at right now in my life.
That's great. That's great. So I just want to touch on a couple of things this brother said this morning. I mean, and I think this is pretty profound. He was able to accumulate more wealth in 2 years in this company, and the company we're talking about today is Carrot Bars International. 2 years in this company, and of course the system and under the instruction and guidance of these what I call master teachers and wealth builders worldwide, such as Ty Best and Michael Dalco. And I'm right with you, brother. I mean, I have to say the same. I mean, I don't like to really talk too much about this over the airways, but what I can say is this: like this brother here, I have been able to amass more wealth in the time that I've been in Carrot Bars than my whole rest of my time on this earth. So I think that it's definitely worth looking into for people that may be watching this and are not a part of this company. And it's very simple to get involved. It's free to get involved, in fact. And you can do what this brother did. You see, he found his sponsor. He found himself a sponsor. But basically, you just contact whoever shared this with you, because more likely than not, somebody was kind enough to share this information with you. So the best way is you just contact them and you say, hey, what's this company they're talking about, Carrot Bars and this gold thing and amassing wealth, and they talk about they were able to amass more wealth for themselves in 2 years. And in my case, I've been in I'm coming up on 4 years now. I was dragging my feet initially. That's why I'm not probably propelled ahead of where I am, but I'm happy with the progress I've made so far. It's been consistent, and I see the potential in it. Now, what would you say to people who are maybe skeptical about getting involved with this? Like when we're watching the presentations, how they had the guys on go, then the people got some questions, then they got the red light, like they don't want to join, or what would you say to them?
I would say um, it's free to register. You can't lose in Carrot Bars International. It costs you zero pennies to register so that you can make an informed decision, not a decision from on the outside, but take 5 minutes just to register. If you don't do nothing else, register and then look inside so that you can see exactly what we're talking about. And, you know, most of the excuse I hear is that people say that they don't have time, and that's what we're trying to give them is time. Okay. Time freedom is what this is all about. And it's like, and I tell them, I say, and that's the plan. They don't want you to have time, but you have to take the time to stop
Hmm.
and look at what we're trying to offer you. Because what we're trying to offer you, they don't want you to know. You went to school, you know, for maybe 12 years, and they never taught you about how to do tax returns. And if you think about it, you went to school to get a job and to pay taxes. So why wouldn't they teach you how to do tax returns? You know, it's just, it that's basically what I would tell a person that it's free. It's free to register for your account. Okay. I mean, at least do that so that you can make an informed decision and not a decision based on somebody else's opinion, but based on your own research. Do the research. If you don't believe me,
That's right. That's right. And I agree with this brother. Like, if you do need to do a little more research, that's okay. But what I would say is because of how this system works, and you'll thank me for this later, it's good to register now. Because, see,
right,
because of an effect, I guess it's like called spillover or something like this. But what happens is if, for instance, say that maybe you're a friend of mine and you're like, well, let me get back with Brother Kansu today. Well, the importance of you doing it today is because you're going to put yourself in a better position within the company, within my branch of the company, because everybody I sponsor after you resultably comes underneath of your team. So you actually can benefit from my work by getting involved now. So even if you're a little slow on the draw, like I was, by the time I started moving, I already had 80 or 90 people on my team because my sponsor was moving. And so I would say positioning is important, and with this particular opportunity, the sooner you get involved, the better position you're putting yourself in. And even if you do what I did, even if you get in and you don't do nothing for a while, I highly recommend against that, because obviously if I could go back in time, um, I would do things much differently. So
hmm
I don't want you to repeat. It's better to learn from other people's mistakes than from your own. So I just suggest that you learn from my mistake and get involved now, because for one, I mean, we can get our hands on some 24 karat gold. And the importance of this is important for a few reasons, but one of the reasons is that it puts us in the 1 percentile. It takes us from the 99 percentile and puts us in the 1 percentile. And no, it doesn't make you Illuminati or nothing like that. I'm not talking about that 1%. I mean, it puts you in the 1% of people that own
who
pure
own gold.
gold. There's only 1% of the population that own pure gold. And from what I studied, there's only 5% who've ever even really seen pure gold. So that's something. Only 5% of people have ever even seen
Right.
24 karat gold. And so when you can actually put your hands on someone, you can put in your hands, and you probably, I'm not sure if you can see the stream right now, brother, but I'm showing them a 2.5 gram card. When you can put it into your hands, I mean, it's different, and to be able to, basically the whole idea behind this company is amassing personal wealth. And then, what happens is you get excited because of now it's like you're amassing this wealth, and you get excited by how easy it is, and then you share the information. You're like, well, look, you call your brother, you call your friends, and eventually you start telling people you don't even know, because it's an opportunity for people to get out of this debt-based system. And I mean, if I remember when I first got in here, it was a little more difficult explaining to people the problem with the monetary system. But in this time that we're in now, it's much easier and it's much more apparent. And that's another reason I think it's a good time to get involved, because this is like, for some people, this would be like a godsend. This is like a life raft pulling up next to the Titanic. And it's like this is literally a way out and will be the way out for so many fortunate people who were blessed with the opportunity either to find it or for somebody to share it with them. And so, I mean, I would just say, what they say, make haste or whatever it is, just like um, don't take too long with your so-called research, because the problem is, I mean, the company itself has already been researched. For one, we've been in business for 9 years, so to me that speaks volumes.
Right.
A company that's going to fall or falter or really bomb out, for one, they do it typically in under 5. In fact, most businesses that are going to bomb out do it in the first 2 years. And then very few that are going to bomb make it past 5. Now, we got 9 years in business. And then the fact that we're linked up with FedEx, partnered with FedEx. From what I understand, we're their largest contributing partner right now. We're doing the most business with and for them. And then we got MasterCard. And so, I mean, then think about this, 146 governments. So 146 countries have accepted our business as legitimate, including Canada, which was the only one that tried to ever bring a case against us. And it took 2 years, and it took $500,000. But guess what? They recognize us as legit now too. So all over the world, even the ones that really tried to challenge us and take us to court. And the good thing about things like that is it gives you a validity that you wouldn't have otherwise. Because when somebody does try to take you through that whole court process, now you have to bring all the proofs forward of your authenticity, and in so doing, I think it gives your company a lot more credibility once the smoke clears, and that's what it's did for us. And we have affiliates in Canada, by the way, so that just goes to show whatever issues we had there are done. And there's going to be challenges when you're bringing a gold standard back. Not everybody's going to like it, but the fact that we're on, you figure there's only 194 countries in the world, we're in 146 of them. That means 75% of the entire Earth, give or take a few points, but 75% of the planet and governments of the planet have already accepted us, including the United States, including Canada. I mean, and some of the countries all over Africa. I know we don't have all of them yet, but man, it seems like every month we're inside of a new country, so it's expanding fast. And I hope that everybody would want to be a part of that expansion. I want to shift it over back to you, brother.
Yeah, and you're absolutely correct. There's really no need to even do any research. This thing works. We have a proven wealth building system. There are people in Karatbars who are free. And that's all we're trying to offer people is an opportunity to get free from the current system of debt. And I call wage slavery, because you're never going to really accomplish your goals on a regular 9 to 5, and the school system is not training you or programming you to become an entrepreneur. It's designed for you to become a good, obedient worker. And most people, unfortunately, don't know the wealth principle number 1. You may have heard it, but you don't really understand what the wealth principle number 1 is, And so in Karatbars and Wealth Builders Worldwide, one of the main things that we get in this is a financial education, and that wealth principle number 1 is to pay yourself first. A portion of everything that you earn should be yours to keep forever. It said that in the book called The Richest Man in Babylon, but you want to keep it in a safe place, a place that's going to outpace inflation. And the safest place to put your cash is in gold, because gold is actually real money.
Right.
The Constitution of the United States declares gold and silver is really the only means to pay debts and whatever, So that paper that we think is money is really not money. It's just a receipt, prior to 71, safe place, place that's going to, the gold was pegged to the US dollar. It was backing up that dollar. Now the US dollar is a fiat currency. And if you understand what a fiat currency is, you would try to get as much gold as you can, and only keep that fiat currency to pay bills, to live off and enjoy life. But You want to accumulate as much 999.9 24 karat gold as you can and plug into our system, because all fiat currencies historically have failed. They've returned to their intrinsic value. The only thing that's propping this US dollar up is these ongoing wars and the Federal Reserve pumping up, pumping paper into the economy, and eventually this thing's going to come tumbling down if it's not already tumbled down already. If you think of if the dollar's lost 98% of its powers since 2012, 97% of its buying power since 1912, 1913, when the Federal Reserve was created, it's basically on life support.
Right.
And the only thing that's propping it up is the Federal Reserve.
Right.
And if you knew what the Federal Reserve was, they've been robbing us. They've been robbing us with this thing called inflation. Because the more dollars they print, the less valuable the dollar becomes. But gold is wealth. Gold is the place that you want to store your cash. We don't even call it money because it's not even money. It's just cash. And Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, says that cash is trash. And that's really what it is. In order for the house, a lot of people think that the revolution is going to come with guns and all that. No, the revolution is going to come in your head and understanding how this current monetary system works. And what you want to do is you want to get outside that monetary system before it collapses, because it's just a matter of time before this thing goes.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I mean, shoot, it seems like we're in the process of a major collapse now. And
Yeah.
when you read, Forbes, and there's a whole bunch of different articles, and I've covered a lot of them on this show, even where the things that seem to have been unfolding are, and it's interesting because of the education I got, I really could see this coming. I mean, I'm not talking about the recession, I'm talking about the Great Depression. And I've actually been mentioning that for at least the last 6 months. Some of my steady viewers definitely will be able to, kind of co-sign that I've been mentioning depression for a while now. I've been saying it's going to be more than a recession. And the reason for that is because, see, we look at cycles. When you look through history and you see cycles, even that's why the Mayans were able to create such accuracy, because they seen cyclical things that happen over and over and over. And it seems like that's the same thing with our monetary system. And so, you see a recession happen about every 8 to 10 years. And we notice everybody knows what happened in 2008. Everybody knows what happened in 2000. Everybody knows what happened in the early 90s. And it goes back every 8 to 10 years. So we knew we were overdue for one of them. But then, of course, there's a longer one that every 75 to 100 years, there's a much bigger collapse. And so that one we were overdue for as well. So being that we had never recovered from 2008, we were already overdue for another recession, and then we're just about right on time for another depression. And there's a it's interesting too. There was about I think it was 1700 years between the collapse that happened in the Bronze Age and then the Roman Empire. And now there's been 1700 years between the Roman Empire's collapse and today. So that's an even bigger cycle that, but these things, we're looking at maybe 3 total magnificent collapses that are all going to combine at one time. And they're actually fusing and happening right now. And when the smoke clears and the dust settles, the only people who are really going to be safe is people that have precious metals. And I would also recommend some cryptocurrency. It's a good time to tell you I'm not a financial advisor. And the great thing about that is that's why I'm allowed to tell you to get some gold. But today, these are my opinions only, not the opinions of Wealth Builders Worldwide, Karatbars International, or any other affiliate group. These are just my opinions. And of course, this kind brother that was able to bless me with his presence today on this show. So I just wanted to pass the mic back over to you, brother. You are the guest.
Well, brother, I just want to encourage the people, if you join Carrot Bars, plug into the system. I mean, it works. And if you haven't joined Carrot Bars yet, you should join today. Get back with the person who is sharing this on their page or wherever you see this, whoever shared this with you, because they thought enough of you to try to share this amazing opportunity with you, because this is truly a blessing. Unfortunately, the poor and middle class, anything outside the program, they kind of think that it's a scam, without even doing any research. One of my mentors, late Wayne Dyer, says that, the greatest form of ignorance is to reject something that you don't know nothing about and don't even do the research. And so
Mm,
many people have done that. And I'm not talking about ignorance in a negative way. It's just ignorance because you just don't know and you don't want to know. You know, for so long, this information has been suppressed. It wasn't, available to the general public. But we're in an information age. Okay, the truth is being revealed, and the truth about this monetary system is coming to light. I mean, if you look at the stock market, man, people have lost thousands, if not millions of dollars in their savings in the last 3 weeks,
mhm.
because they are listening to people who get paid to tell you to put your money in stocks. They get paid to do that. They're gonna get paid. They don't get their commission and stuff like that. But but the regular investor who doesn't know nothing about finance, uh, they're gonna lose because the house always wins. So I want to encourage everybody, get a financial education. Read Rich Dad Poor Dad. His newest book called Fake is an excellent book. Uh, some of the Mr. Ty Best has got a book called The Dream Chaser Manifesto. If you get in this business, read that book. He's got another book called 101 Ways to Fail in Network Marketing. The CEO and founder, Dr. Harold Constantine Sykes, has a book called The Future of Money. Man, that book, I mean, it's like everything in that book is happening right now. He's prepared us for this time. So the people who got in here and saw this thing and took action, I mean, we're okay. We're going to be okay. And our families are going to be okay. And it's not too late. It's not too late to get started today. But don't hesitate. Like Brother Constu said, you know, register right now because what you're doing is you're securing yourself a valuable piece of real estate, okay, in the beginning. And then everybody that's going to build their business is going to come build their business after you, and that's going to help your business thrive. And everybody in Carrot Bars, that's all we do is win. There you can't lose because people think we're investing in gold. We're not investing in gold. We're actually exchanging a piece of paper that's made out of cotton that the Internal Revenue Service says is a liability for a tier one asset that's eternal, that's made out of gold, that's not going to burn. It doesn't require you to pay taxes on it, doesn't require you to have any maintenance on it. Once it's yours, it's yours. All it's going to do is sit there and look pretty and just grow in value, grow in strength, and protect your family's financial future. So all we're trying to show people is that gold is real money. Everything was credit. J.P. Morgan said that in 1912 when he testified in front of Congress. Remember, gold is real money and everything else is credit. And once you learn that, you'll never, ever be poor again. And I just want to thank you, brother, for inviting me on your show, man. It's been an honor and a pleasure, man. And just keep doing what you're doing, you know, sharing the dream, educating the masses on what they just don't know.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. Yeah, it looks like it's almost about time to wrap it on up. So, I imagine many people will be meeting today for Let's Go Worldwide, the first online corporate event since the quarantine knocked out our Let's Go weekend, but it's okay because we're all gonna be linking up in September.
Hmm.
Anybody that's watching this that doesn't understand what I'm talking about, you can feel free to reach out to this brother, to reach out to me, and really you should reach out to whoever shared this with you unless you just stumble across it, and
Hmm.
we'll be happy to get you the information that will put you on the other side of this wealth transfer, because right now if you don't put yourself in position, these could be real dire times for you, for your family, and for everybody really that you love. I mean, so I would strongly suggest that you take the time and look into this, and if you're already in, this is a good time to get moving because a lot of people need this system right now. So all we really have to do is educate people to why they need this system, and then help show them the vehicle to get out of there. So with that being said, yeah, I just want to thank everybody for their time. I know this is a little unorthodox. We're on YouTube today instead of Facebook, but Facebook's acting up and the show must go on. So everybody, I hope that I don't
That's
think that
right.
there's going to be I'm pretty sure there's no power call today because of the corporate event. That's from the best of my knowledge. There is no power call. So because the corporate event, I believe, starts at 11. So you know, that's typically the time that the power call starts. So just I'll see everybody at the event. Peace and blessings to y'all. And you know, I say wadu and au.
Peace.